Hello, my friends. I hope you're really, really well. Today, I want to talk to you about how does imposter syndrome manifest? How does it show up in our lives? We keep using the phrase imposter syndrome left, right, and center, right? But how do I know whether the uneasiness, if I'm experiencing any uneasiness around the question, am I good enough, whether it's imposter syndrome or whether it's something else? So I'm going to share with you 5 areas to watch out for, so that you can kind of start observing closer which one of these maybe resonate or doesn't resonate, and start observing myself. How do I behave in certain situations? Is this a sign of imposter syndrome? And do I maybe want to start looking for help or start dealing with this? So number 1, being a perfectionist. It means that you have got extremely very often unreasonably high expectations, particularly on yourself. And that puts you under a lot of pressure, internal pressure, right? And then you also have got these high expectations on other people, and it's impossible, very often impossible to reach those expectations. But it all starts from your own expectations on yourself. So you want the things to be done right the first time round. And so you keep polishing things, let's say presentations or documents. You keep checking, double checking, until you feel it's okay to send the document, but still you feel an uneasiness, kind of worried that people are going to find out the spelling mistakes, or the content is not good enough. So perfectionism is a very strong sign of imposter syndrome. Number 2, people pleasing. This used to be much more, but still is a huge area for my own self-awareness. Used to be a massive people pleaser, and until I started working with my coach, I have never actually realized the extent of my people pleasing tendencies. So this is just very self-explanatory. We keep holding our opinions back because we don't think that they are good enough. We agree with everything with what people say or do. We kind of keep maneuvering with people, just agreeing here, just, not wanting to ruffle any feathers. Because once again, it's all coming from, I don't feel I'm good enough to express my opinions. I'm not confident because I'm being worried that I'm going to be judged. And so I don't believe in my expertise. So I'm going to agree with everything that you do or that you say, and I will follow what you tell me. Number 3, procrastination. Now, if you are a procrastinator, and your procrastination is caused by imposter syndrome, you're not a procrastinator because you're lazy. It is because you once again worried that your work that you're going to let out or put out to the world is not going to be good enough. And so you delay and delay and delay. And then, eventually you have to do it because there is a deadline. But there is this subconscious belief, subconscious fear that whatever you put out, it's not going to be good enough. And so you might be thinking about things in your mind for a long time until you actually go and execute. This also makes us, because I used to be one of those that procrastinated over things. This stops us from taking any opportunities that might be out there for us. We don't take projects, or we don't take the jobs that we think that might be too much for us and we are not good enough. And if we do take new opportunities, those new opportunities will expose that we are not good enough, and we will be discovered as a fraud. Number 4, comparison. Again, we all know this, right? This is when we constantly lower our status, and we find ourselves to be less than everybody else. We constantly underestimate ourselves. And when I work with clients, we can spot this really, really quickly, because the language that you use, the words that you use in connection with yourself show this or expose this kind of tendency very, very quickly. And number 5, overcompensation. This is when we feel that we need to take another leadership course. We need to take another training. We need to take another, certification of some sort to make sure that we have got enough skills and we feel good enough. But once again, getting more trainings, leadership programs, certifications is not going to help, because that belief is coming from your internal belief that you are not good enough. And so there is a different kind of work that is needed, and that is internal work, not external work, getting more certifications or doing more courses. And also, if we are overcompensating by taking more courses, this is kind of an excuse for not actually taking action. And so we are being stopped in our tracks, thinking we are actually doing something. So it gives us a good feeling of working on ourselves, but really it's just stopping us from taking action because we believe we are not good enough. See if any of these resonate. I'm sure there is a lot that does resonate. It can be 1 or 2 or few of those. For me, once again, that people-pleasing tendency is still a massive red flag. And I am just constantly, particularly now these days in my personal relationships, being aware, how am I expressing what I really think and what I really feel? And if I'm not, what is stopping me from doing that? If you feel that you would like to address the symptoms or address the signs that you see when it comes to your imposter syndrome, give me a call, book the free session, 90-minute session in the link in the post. You know that I'm here to help you. You know that I've struggled massively with crippling imposter syndrome. I know how you feel. So let's go and start doing your work. And I'm here to guide you through that process. You have the most beautiful day, and I will see you next week again. Bye.